Okay, welcome back, DoomTubers, and well, I guess that's a wrap on the Summer Backlog Challenge. Now, I know today's like the 20th, I think. Yeah, today's the 20th. But I was going over the list here of Summer Backlog games and that I put on my list, and I'm not going to beat any more of them by the time that it's actually over September 1st. So, I doubt I'll beat any other games by September 1st, but even though I beat another game on September 1st, it's probably not going to be any of them that are on this list. So, just in recap, quick overview of my Summer Backlog Challenge. I picked a buttload of games, and lengthy ones at that, so I'll just run down the list real quick here. Yoshi's Island, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy, Liberation Maiden, Phantasy Star, Hexen, Halo 4, Quake 3 Revolution, Bioshock, Ni no Kuni, Dragon Warrior 2, Space Marine, Doom 3, Resurrection of Evil, and Lost Mission, Etrian Odyssey 3, Final Fantasy 4, and Secret of Mana. Now, with that said, I did beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in the time span of the Summer Backlog Challenge, but only 1, 2, 3 of them, technically kind of 4, were part of that. I did beat Quake 3 Revolution. I don't feel the need to hold that game up because I've held it up in the past. And great game, absolutely loved it. It's a really great port of Quake 3, in my opinion. It's it's kind of a mishmash of the PC ports of Quake 3, or not ports, PC versions of Quake 3, and Quake 3 Arena and Quake 3 Team Arena, using the DualShock controller, which was a plus for me. I really enjoyed using that controller to play that game instead of on the Dreamcast, which is the other version of the game that I own, and I had a lot of fun with it. Red Faction Armageddon was not on my Summer Backlog, but I did play it back in June. I beat it probably like the end of June. Fantastic game, absolutely loved it. Very fun third-person shooter. Lots of cool mechanics, destructible environments and cool weapons and things like that. Very, very highly recommended game. Lots of fun. Pretty mindless fun. There's nothing too serious about it. I mean, the story is kind of shallow. It's there, but it's, I don't know. They could have done a lot more with it. They could have done a lot more with the cultists, and yeah, it was kind of, but very fun. And what it lacked in story quality, it definitely made up for in just plain good fun. Okay, Hexen was on my list, and I did beat that game. Loved it. Great id game, classic. Very hard. Took me a while to beat it, but I had already played a lot of the way through it before the Summer Backlog Challenge even really started. So that one was, we'll say, about half done. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a little more than half, but a couple hours anyway that I had to finish on that game, and it was a very frustrating couple of hours. But yeah, I did beat the game. They is another one that was not on my Summer Backlog Challenge, but I did beat it in that time span, and it is a fantastic RPG. One of my very favorites. Really loved it. Really great turn-based RPG. I did a video about that one. I did a video about Quake 3 also. Guerrilla War, another one I did a video about. Just a really fun NES game, run and gun, top down, a lot like Akari Warriors, or a lot like Metal Slug in a lot of ways, but not side-scrolling. It was top down. Very fun. Yeah, very awesome game. Ys 3, Wanderers from Ys. I emulated this one, but it is the Super Nintendo version that I played of Ys 3. It's a side-scrolling, action game. Very awesome. Very, very short. Kind of hard in parts, but overall it's pretty easy, and it was definitely a very good game. Demon's Crest. for the Super Nintendo. Once again, I emulated, and it's a very short game, overhyped. I think it was good, but I don't know, it just wasn't my thing. I didn't, spend a lot of time playing. A little while, very hard, but I did beat it. And last but not least, Doom 3, Resurrection of Evil, and Lost Mission. That's kind of why I said, it's kind of 4, because that's 2 expansions, but they're both short enough that I spent, total of like 6 hours between the 2. But they're different enough to be different, I guess. I don't know. They were pretty awesome. But anyway, that is my Summer Backlog Challenge completion. And a couple of them that I say that, I'm not going to finish anymore. A couple of the games I actually don't have anymore. I traded off my Super Mario Galaxy 2 to Stephen Lag Gamer, and Yoshi's Island I was borrowing, and I returned it to its owner. So I don't have those 2 anymore. And the other games just... the only other game on the list that I'm playing is Etrian Odyssey 3. And I'm playing Ev11 out of that. But that's for another video where I want to talk about that. Looking forward here, I've got some other games that I'm playing, a little bit. But as far as, my backlog update, I'll have another one of these kind of videos coming up at the end of September. Yeah, the end of September will be the end of the 3rd quarter games. And it's not going to be as many games as it has been in the last couple of quarters. I have not played nearly as many games, not played and finished nearly as many games as I have the last couple quarters of this year. I don't know why that is. I just haven't. One thing I guess I could say is I've been playing a little bit longer games. I don't know. Etrian Odyssey 3, I've put, 25 plus hours into. And another game that I'm playing right now, I've only had this game for about a week and a half, and I've already put 31 hours into this game. Yeah. Rune Factory, man. This is a life sucker. But I'm going to do another video coming up right after this one where I'm going to talk about it. The only other game that I'm playing, well, 2 of them actually, that I'm playing actively right now, Sylpheed, The Lost Planet. I just got this in the package from Stephen the Lag Gamer. Got this, and I put it in for the first time this evening. It's a very, very awesome shoot 'em up. I only made it to like the 2nd stage. But I wasn't playing, very intently. I was just trying to get used to the controller, and my batteries were dying on my PlayStation 2 controller because I have a Pelican wireless PlayStation 2 controller, and the batteries were dying, and so the analog stick was just pulling to one side, pull it back, and it would just pull to one side, and I couldn't move my ship. It was like stuck on the bottom half of the screen. I could go left to right, but I couldn't go forward. So I was like struggling on the first playthrough, and I couldn't tell at first whether it was my controller that was causing the problem or if like I just sucked at it really bad, and that yeah. But I ended up switching out the batteries, and it turned out it was the controller. So not to say that I am necessarily any better than I thought I was, but that fixed that problem, and I was able to move the ship anywhere on the screen. It's a very awesome vertical shoot 'em up. So if you like vertical shooters, definitely check out Sylpheed: The Lost Planet for the PlayStation 2. Very, very, very good game, and it's of course Working Designs and Treasure that had a hand in this, and that just that just makes for a really awesome game. So definitely check out Sylpheed: Lost Planet. Also playing Fear: First Encounter Assault Recon on the Xbox 360. After I finished Doom 3, Resurrection of Evil, and Lost Mission, I was really just in the mood to play kind of like a horror-y first-person shooter, like similar to Doom 3. And the only game in my collection that I could think of right off that fits that mold that I haven't played and beat was Fear, and I think that's it. Gosh, I don't know. There's probably others that I'm forgetting, but that's the one that I thought of right off, and so that's when I started. I'm on interval 5, Extraction, and it's called Blindside is the area I'm at. Pretty good first-person shooter. A lot of people don't like it. I kind of like it. The controls and kind of the look of things remind me a lot of Left 4 Dead, which I actually enjoy. Some people don't enjoy that. It's not chaotic like Left 4 Dead, but I don't know, just the way that the guns are handled, and the way it kind of feels when you shoot. It just kind of feels kind of like that. And there's also a cool bullet time aspect of it. You can click the bumper button and it slows down time, so you're able to focus and aim better. And it comes in handy for some other these disappearing ninja bastards. Scared the crap out of me. Like, oh man, I don't even know how far into the game it is. But you're playing most of the game inside this office building, at least thus far. You're in some sort of office building, and you're just running through, clearing out the enemies, and there's these little bastards have like active camo or something, and they drop down out of the ceiling and right in front of you, and just, oh man, scared the crap out of me. So it goes in handy with those guys, because you can just hit the bullet time and it slows way down, and you can just hit them with your shotgun, which is a very necessary weapon in this game. The variety of weapons isn't crazy, but I like that you can there's a dual wielding of like machine gun pistols. Those come in pretty handy, and then there's a couple of different machine gun varieties, and of course the pump action shotgun, which is pretty handy at close range, because like I said, you are in some sort of an office building. And a lot of reviews that I've watched and stuff talk about this a lot, and it is true. It does lack a lot of texture. Like a lot of the rooms look exactly the same. Yeah, there's just not a lot going on, and most of the story of the game comes in the form of these like flashes that you have with this supernatural power guy that like will talk to you, and also like you run around, you see phones with blinking red lights, and you click on it, and it will play back a voicemail message, and that's supposed to be like how you get the story. But anyway, I hear that the second game and the third game are quite a bit better, but so far I'm enjoying it. So obviously I'm still talking about it, and I'm still playing it. Haven't played it for a couple of days because, like I said, I've been kind of tooling away at a couple other games. But I'm going to give those their own video. So I'm going to end this one for now. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll be sure to give you another backlog update coming up at the end of September. So thanks for watching. Doomwaves out.